So today, Doris and I are going to, Doris is going to show y'all how to make a flower arrangement from your yard. So I'm going to post this video on my YouTube channel and y'all can follow along, and we'll tell you more about it as we go.
So the ideal time to cut your flowers is first thing in the morning, and now it's not the ideal time, but this is the time we're doing it. It's 2 in the afternoon, but ideally to cut things out of your yard, you want to do it first thing in the morning while the moisture from the night air is still in the flowers. Get them in water, preferably put them in water as you're cutting them, and then choose your vase. And this is not floral tape, it's thinner than this, but this is regular Scotch tape and it will work also. So you get your vase prepared, and then you start with your fillers. Meg has an abundance of foliage in her yard, foliage and flowers, so probably not a lot of us are blessed with that, all of that, but she has lots of foliage and flowers in her yard. So you start with the fillers first, putting your fillers in. And what I like to do, because I'm a gardener and I had a florist for a few years, I like to choose colors that either complement each other or coordinate. I'm sort of a simplistic person and I don't like a ton of color and variety. I would rather stick with just 3 or 4 complementary colors. You can see the white hydrangeas that we brought in. They're just beautiful by themselves, in a vase by themselves, and I'm going to add them to this arrangement. So you just start with your fillers. Whatever color you want. Like I said, you can use solid greens. You can go out there. This is a Laura Petalum, and I think it's a very popular plant, so most of you should have this in your yard. It's not wanting to cooperate with me, but that's the way things go sometimes. So I put the fillers in, and then you could actually put some green in here, a dark green foliage. Meg has plenty of dark green plants out there as well. And then I would come back in with the larger flowers like the hydrangeas. So I'll put the white hydrangeas in. And then I'll come back in and put in the roses after I put the white hydrangeas in. And when you're doing your arrangements, just like anything else, if you want to come in and take your clippers and snip off pieces that are sticking out too far, you can do that as well. It's very organic. You can just do whatever you want to your liking. But you do have to keep lots of water in these hydrangeas because hydrangea actually means water vessel. So you have to get them in water as soon as you cut them, and you have to keep the water hydrated as you're working, throughout the week. So then we have roses out of her beautiful rose garden. So when you choose your roses, you strip the leaves off of them, the outer leaves. You strip the thorns off of them, and you always have to recut them when you put them back in the water, because as soon as you pull a rose out of as soon as you cut it or as soon as you pull it out of the water, the stem starts sealing up. So you have to give it a fresh cut, even if you pulled it out of the water 2 seconds earlier. So you have to give it a fresh cut when you go to put it back in. And you just kind of play with it, and like I said, I'm kind of simplistic, so I love pinks and whites and pale colors, but you just choose whatever. And like I said, most people don't have this many plants and flowers in their yard, but you can, a lot of times in my yard, because I only have one rose bush, and right now the Japanese beetles have eaten all the roses off of it, so I will just go cut Laura Pedlum or camellia branches, and just fill vases up with camellia branches and Laura Pedlum, whatever's out there. Cuba, you can use a Cuba. There's just all kinds of things you can use to make floral arrangements at home that are very beautiful. I have to cut these stems a little bit because they're sticking up too high. And I just went and cut these on a whim. This is not something we prepared way in advance for, so had I done that, I probably would have put a little more thought in it, but I've done it so many times, I just go cut whatever's out there, and whatever's available, I just cut it and start poking it in vases, and it turns out pretty good most of the time. This is my favorite rose. This is, I believe, called Moonstone. It's very soft. It comes out with a hint of pink on it, and then it goes all white. But these roses are super healthy.
Thanks to the Rose Man, the Perfect Rose Man. It's actually a company that takes care of our roses. He sprays them and fertilizes them and whatever you have to do to them.
And then she had a really pretty yellow rose, and I like to just pop a little bit of yellow in there. That just kind of wakes things up a little bit. She had some very, I would say, really some bright pink and some reds, but I have a tendency to shy away from those when I'm doing an arrangement like this, just because these are the colors that I like. So you just choose what you like and go from there with it. But the bright pink really looks pretty with this Laura Pedlum foliage. You can come back and stick some fillers in if you have empty spots and you want to see like the purple foliage come up in the middle of the roses. You can always go back and finish and pop a few things in there. And like I said, we're doing this very quickly. This is not something we went way ahead of time and chose the flowers to do. So I'm sure that it could have been done a little more professionally, but just for a quick.
Honestly, this is not about perfection. This is about professionalism. This is about people going in their yard and cutting their flowers and doing their own arrangements, and they're beautiful, and you don't have to be a professional to do this.
That is true.
this is what my little channel's about. Is anybody can make a flower arrangement. Anybody can cook a good meal and host a friend or some friends over and serve them a delicious meal, and you don't have to be a pro.
Because you do have to have some flowers somewhere.
For
in the
sure,
yard.
or at least some kind of greenery
Yeah, some kind of foliage.
in the yard.
But yeah, this is a lot of flowers for just your average person.
I think I have 20 rose bushes, I believe is what we have. And I do have I'm gonna post a video of my rose garden.
So you can see that this stem right here has already started sealing up a bit, and it was only out of the water. I mean, I cut it off of the bush and put it in the water. So you, like I said, give it a fresh cut and immediately stick it into your vase if you want the roses to last. These roses will probably last, I would say, a good 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer, particularly if you cut them early in the morning. Like I said, it was 2 p.m. when we cut the roses, so but I'll see how long these last. They may last longer than I expect.
I put some hydrangeas out in a vase the other day, and they didn't last real long. So is that normal that a hydrangea doesn't
Well, you
last as long
probably
as a rose?
chose them maybe in the middle. They probably didn't have enough water in the bloom itself whenever you cut it, or it could have been warmer. I've done that too at my house. I've cut hydrangeas and they didn't last real long. But you can rehydrate hydrangeas. Like if you purchase them at like Trader Joe's or a grocery store, you can stick a hydrangea bloom completely under the water, take it out of the vase, stick it under the water, and you can rehydrate a hydrangea bloom. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist because I did have a florist, so it's kind of hard for me just to cram things in and walk off, but I think that's what Meg wants me to do today. So
I don't think we need to be perfect. I'm not a perfectionist, so I think it's beautiful just like it is.
Well, she's a perfectionist when it comes to decorating cakes, so that's not my department. That will put me in a bad place real quick if you want me to decorate a cake. So I guess we're kind of perfectionists in our own things. Let's do that back here. Like I said, you can always come back and I have one little rose left, so I think I'll take this rose and show you what you can take. Just a little small. I'll put those in there. You would take, this vase might be too big for this, but you can even take like a, yeah, still got water in it. I'll just add a little more to it.
I got those for $1 in the dollar section at Target.
So you can do
glass
these little
things. Yeah.
glass vases. So you can take little small pieces and just tuck them in. I do some flower arrangements for a lady that likes some little arrangements put in her bathroom. So I'll take these and then I may stick a little, this is kind of big for that, but I'll just put it in there anyway just so you can get the idea of what I'm talking about. And take one rose and I'll take that down just a little bit. You can put, just put a couple little things in a vase and just have you a cute little arrangement to set on your sink, beside your sink in the bathroom. And I'm gonna come back to this one and pop in some of these little, I call them tassels that are on the grasses. Meg has lots of these grasses in her front yard around her. A lot of people use them to block utility thing, so she has these around her, what is it?
The reality is they're around the septic tank.
Oh, okay.
They're
So,
growing great. I guess they love
what they're getting,
eating.
their food.
Yeah.
So these really add another dimension to your flower arrangements. You just pop them in there, and I mean that's a little kind of wild, but it's natural looking and it's cute, I think. So it's just whatever. You know, some people are more structured. They don't like things so loose, but I like things a little looser. I'm not a real structured person. I like flower arrangements that are looser and just have a little more texture. So this is by far not a perfect flower arrangement, but I think it's very beautiful and it came together very quickly. So there you have it.